Good morning. Previously, you have seen moving charges and magnetism, where you studied something related to Biot-Savart law, Ampere's circuital law, and also you have seen that how we determine the magnetic field at the axis of a current carrying coil like this. Okay, and also we have discussed various things like toroid, solenoid, etc. Now, today we will discuss the force between two parallel current carrying wires. Let there be two straight long wires. They are placed parallel to each other, okay, and they are named as PQ and RS, each of length L. They are of equal length, of course, and they are separated by a distance I, the distance R from one another. If current I1 is allowed to pass through first one and current I2 is allowed to pass through second one, then we can have a dual character. What dual character? Dual thing. What dual thing? Then that means there are two things that have to take place. Number one, when a conductor carries a current, then it always produces a magnetic field nearby, and the direction of that magnetic field can be determined by the right hand palm rule, like this. Okay, suppose we are placing right hand palm like this, and this is the direction in which current is flowing, and this is the point where magnetic field has to be found. Then that magnetic field must be perpendicular to the plane of this palm. That is the direction of magnetic field. Well, since this is this one PQ carries the current I1, and we may consider the current and in this case is like this, and therefore magnetic field at a distance R from it will be like this, that is perpendicular to the plane of this Y board and directed inward. This is your B1. This is the direction of magnetic field. Okay, let us come to this. This is another conductor, that is RS conductor. It also carries the current like this, and now again by using the similar law, that is right hand palm rule, and here if we want to determine the magnetic direction of magnetic field at a distance R from it, how it will be? It will be like this, that it is also perpendicular plane of whiteboard, but outwardly. It was inwardly, it is outwardly, and therefore it will be directed outwardly like this. This is B2. This is direction of B1, and this is direction of B2. Okay, and these are the directions of current I1 and I2. Well, let us determine magnetic field due to first one, due to PQ. The magnetic field due to the conductor PQ, V1 equal to mu naught upon 2 pi I1 upon R. Okay, and it is directed perpendicular to the plane of whiteboard in the it is inwardly. It is not only perpendicular, it is inwardly. Okay, and this is what we have our B1. Now similarly B2 will be mu naught upon 2 pi I2 upon R, and its direction is just opposite. Okay, in a direction perpendicular to the plane of whiteboard outwardly. That means they are just mutually opposite to each other. Okay. Now you may just surprise that how we determine actually B1 and B2. B1 and B2 they were actually calculated by using Biot-Savart law or even Ampere-Circuitor law. These calculations, these derivations can be done. That has already been discussed. Now here once we use these two things, let this be equation number 1, this be equation number 2. We can just observe each wire behaves like a conductor, current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, which experiences a force naturally. That means if PQ is the wire, then it will experience a force due to B2. If RS is a wire, then it will experience a force due to B1. Okay, and since both are of equal length and they may have different currents, of course, but they also experience different magnetic force. Let us find the force experienced by first wire. Okay. That is the force experienced by the wire or conductor RS due to the magnetic field B1. We will write F1 equal to F2 equal to I2 B1L. Okay, what is B1? Mu naught upon 2 pi I1 upon R into L. We may take them like this: mu 0 upon 2 pi I1 I2 upon R into L. F2. Force per unit length experienced by RS is F2 upon L, mu naught upon 2 pi I1 I2 upon R. This is equation number 3. Okay. Similarly, if we determine the force experienced by PQ due to the magnetic field created by PRS, that will be F1 equal to I1 B2L I1 mu naught upon 2 pi I2L mu naught upon 2 pi I1 I2 into L, and force per unit length F1 upon L equal to mu naught upon 2 pi I1 I2 upon R. This is your equation number 4. Okay, now if we compare equation number 3 and equation number 4, what is the thing we conclude? That right hand side of both the things, both the equations are same. That means बेसिक थिंग हमने क्या इसमें देखा है, दोनों में पहले वाले को क्या रखते हैं कि इसको इस ये वाला जो कंडक्टर है आर एस, इसको इसके मैग्नेटिक फील्ड में रखा गया, पी क्यू के मैग्नेटिक फील्ड में रखा गया, और पी क्यू को आर एस जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड तैयार कर रहा है उसमें रखा गया. नेचुरली फोर्स पर यूनिट लेंथ फॉर दिस गिवन बाय दिस वन, ये मिलता है. अब फोर्स पर यूनिट लेंथ जो रियल एक्सपीरियंस करता है, यानी कि पी को एक्सपीरियंस करता है, वो F1 अपॉन एल वो ये है. ठीक है, तो ये दो अलग अलग मिलकर तो दोनों के राइट हैंड साइड इक्वल है. दैट मीन्स वी कैन जस्ट कंक्लूड दैट देयर इज अ म्यूचुअल फोर्स. दैट म्यूचुअल फोर्स either may be attractive or repulsive, that we will discuss right now. But here we can see the force F1 by L is naturally, it is a mutual force. Okay. Well, when we discuss mutual force, how we take their nature. F by L is the mutual force. Between the F is the mutual force between the conductors. And therefore F by L is the mutual force per unit length. This is the general idea about mutual force. Let us see, suppose they are in the current direction of current in them, in the conductors is same. This direction is यहाँ पर भी नीचे से ऊपर जा रहे हैं, यहाँ पर भी नीचे से ऊपर जा रहे हैं, यानी कि suppose we are considering these are the two conductors of equal length and in both the case the direction of current is same. Okay. Then बहुत ध्यान से देखें कि इससे जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड तैयार होगा, इससे जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड तैयार होगा, वो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड बाहर की तरफ जाएगा, ये ऐसे रखे या ऐसे रहे, इस टाइप का होगा, और ये जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड तैयार करेगा like this, it will be inwardly like this. ये B2, ये B1, that we have already discussed. Okay. Now let us just discuss that what is the nature of force. That could be determined by means of Fleming's left hand rule. You see, Fleming's left hand rule. Now let us see for this one. Direction of current is this one. Direction of magnetic field is inwardly. It is perpendicular plane of board inwardly directed, like this. Direction of magnetic field. This is direction of current. Then force is towards this one. That means it will experience force towards its F2. Let us see what about this one. And here again we can see that magnetic field is outwardly directed. Magnetic field is outwardly directed. This is the direction of current. Direction of current, the direction of force is again towards this. Okay, you can see F1 is towards second conductor and F2 is towards first conductor. That means the resultant will be like this. There will be an attraction. There will be an attraction. Okay. On the other hand, if the direction of current is opposite, this is your I1 and this is your I2. What will happen? This will push. Now let us observe the value direction of magnetic field. As usual, the direction of magnetic field will be again inwardly. This is your B1, and for this you can see that here direction of magnetic field is which one? Here direction of magnetic field is inwardly directed. Okay, and for this one, and here we write like this. Okay, I am just repeating. Direction. This is direction of current. Direction of current in direction of magnetic field is like this. Okay, तो ये अंदर की ओर आ रहा है मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. तो अब इससे जो फोर्स निकल रहा है उसका डायरेक्शन हम देखते हैं, जो ये एक्सपीरियंस करेगा. Again I am using this one. This is direction of current is downward and direction of magnetic field is inwardly. Direction of force is outward. Again see from Fleming's left hand rule, direction of magnetic field is inwardly and direction of current is downward like this. The direction of force is this way. For this one, let us come. Direction of current is upward and direction of field is again inwardly. Then direction of force will again be outward. And therefore, the resultant case will be like this. Repulsion. We have seen that when the direction of current in both the conductor is same, then there will be an attraction between the wires. And on the other hand, if the direction of current is opposite, then there will be a repulsion. ठीक है, ये ध्यान देने वाली चीज है कि जैसे दोनों में करंट एक ही डायरेक्शन में जाएगा तो अट्रैक्शन होगा, जैसे ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में चलते तो ये रिपल्सन होगा. एक जनरल हम पॉइंट्स बता देते हैं कि इसी फॉर्मूला से F/L इक्वल टू μ0/2π I1 I2 अपॉन R जो फॉर्मूला है, इसी से हम लोग एक चीज और निकाल सकते हैं. We can find out the definition of ampere also. How? Suppose we are making it μ0/4π, then we get 2I1 I2 upon R. Okay, this is your F/L. If in infinity, in vacuum, in fact, in vacuum, there are two very long straight current carrying conductors which are held parallel to each other at a distance of 1 meter. An equal current of 1 ampere flows through them. Then what we have, the force experienced per unit length will be 2 into 10 to the power minus 7. This much of Newton. I am repeating again what we said, that from this diagram, from this formula, what we know, μ0/4π is 10 to the power minus 7. And then we have F equal to F/L equal to 10 to the power minus 7 into 2I1 into I1 upon 1 meter. We have already said in vacuum, if there are two parallel straight infinite current carrying conductor, each one is having the same current I1, that is of 1 ampere. Then 1 ampere is that current. 1 ampere is that current which on passing through two straight long current carrying conductor, then force per unit length will be 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton, provided the distance between them must be 1 meter. Okay. Well, this is what we have, the force between two straight parallel current carrying conductor. Next we move to magnetic dipole and magnetic dipole moment. As the name implies, magnetic dipoles means there are two poles. Okay, that means what we call, if two magnetic poles of equal strength separated by a small distance is a system, then that system is called magnetic dipole. In general, magnetic dipole is a system of two equal strength, two magnetic poles of equal strength separated by a distance. Okay, that means two poles of equal strength separated by a distance is called a magnetic dipole. It does not mean that we are considering point charges like in electric dipole. No, magnetic dipoles are inseparable. Even if it is divided into smallest possible parts, then also they are not separated from each other. That means both the poles are always stick together. That means in general what we call a magnetic dipole is a system in which two equal and opposite poles are placed, or what we call magnetic dipole is a system where two magnetic poles are separated by a small distance from one another. The bar magnet is an ideal example of magnetic dipole. Okay, it has two poles, north pole and south poles. Okay, and suppose the length of magnet is 12, then we can call that the distance between the north and south poles is 12. Okay, and suppose we consider the pole strength of north and south of the same magnet is Qm, then the product of pole strength and length of a magnet is called magnetic dipole moment. Always remember, like electric dipole moment, where we have had the thing that is the product of charge and the length of dipole is known as electric dipole moment. And here for magnetic dipole, what we have, it is the product of this pole strength Qm and the length of dipole 2L. That is, it is denoted by small m equal to Qm into 2L. Okay, and this could also be just a magnet or a bar magnet can also be considered like a coil of N turns. Okay, a current carrying coil of N turns. And how we can just explain that? Let us just observe. can be expressed by or can be demonstrated by a coil current carrying of n number of turns. Yes, it is magnetic dipole can be demonstrated or can be explained by a coil that is current carrying coil of n number of turns. Okay, that's what we explain. What we mean by this term, that is demonstrated by a current carrying coil of number n. That means if we consider this as a magnetic dipole, bar magnet, as the diagram can suggest, it is just a bar magnet. We must take the dotted line like this. This is a bar magnet, of course, and suppose we are having a current carrying coil like this. That from this the magnetic dipole can be demonstrated or can also represented. Demonstrated means can also be represented by a coil, current carrying coil of n number of turns. Here we can see like this. Here for this type of situation, the magnetic dipole moment is given by NIA, where N is the number of turns, I is the current, and A is the cross-sectional area. Okay, and accordingly unit of magnetic dipole moment is ampere meter square. Definitely it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Its direction is from south pole to north pole. You might have remembered in case of our electric dipole, the direction of electric dipole moment is always from negative charge to positive charge. बिल्कुल इसी तरह यहाँ पर भी है. The direction of magnetic dipole moment is always from south pole to north pole. जो काम वहाँ पर पॉजिटिव चार्ज कर रहा था तो वही काम यहाँ पर नॉर्थ पोल करता है. जो वहाँ पर नेगेटिव चार्ज करता था वही काम यहाँ पर कौन कर रहा है? साउथ पोल. ओके, नंबर वन. In the case of electric dipole, we used to have the electric dipole moment represented by P, and P equal to what we say Q into 2L. वो चार्ज ऑफ पोल हर चार्ज पॉइंट था, that was charge of dipole, electric dipole, and this is 2L is the length of dipole. In case of magnetic dipole, we have Qm into 2L. This is pole strength. Instead of having charge, here we have pole strength. Okay. This is also, this is a this is a vector quantity, and this is also a vector quantity. Its direction is from negative to positive, and here's direction is from south to north. Okay, these are the two resembling thing, two common thing with which we are familiar with the situation. Okay, and after this we must know what are the magnetic field due to an electric dipole. Yes, now we take magnetic field due to a bar magnet. It is magnetic dipole. It has two positions. Number one, axial point. Suppose point B is there, length of dipole is 12 and distance from the center of magnet to point P is R. Okay. In such case, the magnetic field at P will be mu naught upon 4 pi 2 n r upon r square minus l square whole to the power square, like this. If r is very large than l, then b equal to mu naught upon 4 pi 2 n upon r cube, because this become r4, this is r cube will be left there. This is equation number 1. Okay. Its derivation is not in the syllabus, therefore you are not to, you don't need how to calculate this, but you have to know what is the formula used. Here you use this formula. Okay. Well, the direction of the magnetic field will be from south to north. Direction of B is from south to north. This is axial point. Similarly for equatorial point, south to north. Here the B is directed from north to south, and the value of B is mu naught upon 4 pi n upon r square plus l square whole to the power 3 by 2. Okay, and if we take this condition, r is much greater than l, then b equal to mu naught upon 4 pi n upon r cube. This is your equation number 2. From equation 1 and 2, it is very clear that they are very similar equations when we compare it in electrostatics. Okay, this is the common analogy. In electrostatics, remember the common points in between electrostatics and magnetostatics is, in electrostatics we take electric dipole moment P. In magnetostatics or in magnetism we take magnetic dipole moment M. In electrostatic, we take the constant as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, the electrostatic constant. In case of magnetism, we take mu naught upon 4 pi as magnetic constants. In case of electrostatics, we take electric dipole moment, this one, electric field as E. In case of magnetism, we take magnetic field as P. In case of electrostatic, we define P as Q into 2L, and in case of magnetism, we take M equal to Qm into 2L. This is the common points or analogy between electricity and magnetism, the electrostatics and magnetic field or magnetism. Okay, and this is how we have just completed this portion. And the next lecture we will discuss something about the magnetic field created by moving electron in a circle and their relevant things. Okay, thank you.